Angel Reese said that she was the reason why people watch basketball for women. That being said, why did all 44 games on national TV go to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, but only 28 went to Reese's Atlanta Dream? Even worse, they keep playing in a gym that can only hold about 3,500 people. But the Indiana Fever sell 17,000 tickets for every home game. And it looks like Ree was furious when she found out. You'll be surprised by what she said during her outburst. But the numbers don't lie, and the marketers don't care about how she feels. You should stay here because the whole story is messier than Angel Reese going into the Atlanta Dream locker room. In the comments, please tell me if you think Ree is crazy.
History has already been made. Before a game has been played, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever cementing their status as must-see TV. The cash cow, the money maker, the golden goose, the golden ticket, the savior of women's basketball.
Not a single WNBA team has ever had all of its regular season games shown on national TV. Not in the history of the game. It was just done by the Indiana Fever, and the 2026 season hasn't even started yet. Every single one of their 44 games is shown on a big TV network. CBS, Paramount Plus, USA Network, Prime Video, ION, and NBA TV are all getting games. It's not just one network getting the big games or a streaming service getting what no one else wanted. 10 different teams are all trying to get parts of the same team's roster. This has never happened before in this league. There's a very clear message about how much something is worth when that many companies write checks for the same thing. Who knows Caitlin Clark as the face and end all of the league? Do you know why there are these TV networks? This season, all 44 of Caitlin Clark's games will be shown on national TV. Since the GOAT is the face, all 44 of them will be shown on national TV. Not just 40, 41, or 40, she doesn't move needles. She's the needle. It's easy to figure out why. Networks like to see people. End of sentence. And Caitlin Clark's return from an injury-shortened 2025 season made sure that all of those partners did the same math. The safest bet in women's basketball is that Clark will lead Indiana's attack when she is healthy. She had shown before that she could raise numbers before she got hurt. That's why every network knew exactly what they were getting when they signed up for Fever games. Once more, TV records were broken. All 44 games were shown on TV across the country. The most national TV games in the history of the series. Most games shown on national TV for a single WNBA team. You will be able to play all 44 games. Clark didn't just come back healthy though. The team is set up to play around her, which makes her harder to control. Defenders are forced to move away from Clark's open driving lanes when Aaliyah Boston posts up in the paint. When Kelsey Mitchell shoots off screens, the defender has to go after two threats at once instead of just Clark. Lexi Hall always gets the best wing player on the other team. So, whenever Clark speeds up during transition or pulls up from 30 feet, real athletes are around her making the defense pay, which makes the attack harder to plan for.
In a way, it was a little bit of a mental break, but at the same time, injury is really mentally taxing as well. Like, people don't always realize that, especially when you're at the point of trying to come back and trying to get over the hump of like trusting your body. That's the hardest part, is like you've done everything you can, you know, rehab wise and to get back on the court, and then it's like the mental block of trusting your body and knowing you put the work in. So I feel like it's a little more mentally exhausting from that standpoint.
It's not games that advertisers buy. It's people who watch them. Ad agencies want to spend money on Clark shows because they have a lot of watchers. So the broadcasters never thought about how many games Indiana had won or lost or how far they'd made it in the playoffs. They only thought about Clark on the screen, which they knew would make people want to watch. This is the most wins any team in this league has ever had, 44. That promise alone makes all of them worth it. Think about this. This season, there isn't a single Fever game in the area. There are back-to-back games in late July when teams are tired and the games aren't very exciting. There are also road games in Seattle, Phoenix, and Chicago. That was something that would happen every Tuesday night in August and no one would notice. The whole thing gets national news. That's the same amount of coverage for a single team's whole regular season as an ABC playoff game. More money is being given to everyone. These people need to figure out how to get some of this money back. Putting Caitlin Clark in front of the camera as much as possible on national TV is one way to make sure that we make money from these networks. The foreign part is also important because Clark has fans all over the world, not just in the US. Peacock and Prime Video have streaming rights that let people watch her games online. This makes the rights deal much more valuable than a domestic-only contract could make it. That's a big part of why so many partners showed up. It's not a mistake that the Fever are ranked 44th out of the top 5 most broadcast teams in 2026, when the next closest team is 8 games behind. They changed their whole women's basketball plan based on one player getting better, and they were right to do so. Take a look at the top 5 to see where everyone else got placed and why Angel Reese is having such a big temper tantrum. The Takeover. The Takeover by Caitlin Clark is well underway. They have Paige Buchers and now AZ Fudd right next to Indiana as the #1 pick, but they still can't catch her. Think about how far you need to drop on the list before you're not in the top 5. For sure, Angel Reese, I see you. It's time to talk about the numbers. 44 of Indiana's games are shown all over the country. The Dallas Wings are ranked 36th, which is very exciting because networks agree that rumors and kooks make basketball interesting. The New York Liberty are ranked 35th and have a strong team led by Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. The Las Vegas Aces have a score of 33 right now. Also remember that these are the defending champs, and A'ja Wilson, who just won MVP, is in charge of their offense. The Los Angeles Sparks are the last team in the top 5, with a score of 31. Each of those teams plays in a real arena in a big city or a building that can hold thousands of fans and make enough noise from the crowd to make a show feel like an event worth watching. The Indiana Fever has the most points in the league with 44, the Wings are next with 36, then Liberty with 35, Ace with 33, and Sparks with 31.
You look around the league, Indiana Fever the most with 44, Wings 36, Liberty 35, Ace 33, Sparks 31. That seems pretty fair to me. In terms of interest, you got the Fever, okay, CC 22, say no more. You got the Wings, Paige Buchers, okay. Liberty 35, I think the Liberty has a bigger national audience than the Dallas Wings. I'd be willing to put a hefty sum of money on that. Liberty definitely have a bigger national audience than the Dallas Wings. You have the Aces with 33, the Sparks with 31.
Atlanta Dream is 28 games behind the top 5 teams. For 2 years, Angel Reese has been telling anyone who will listen that she is the reason people watch women's basketball. Either she's been wrong the whole time, or all the networks in the country got it wrong at the same time. When there's money on the line, networks don't miss message. The situation in the arena is interesting at this point because it makes the 28 game number look even worse. The Dream play their home games in a building in College Park, Georgia, that has room for about 3,500 people. It's not a mistake. There is a Michelob Ultra Arena where the Aces play. The Liberty is in New York City, the Gainbridge Fieldhouse for the Fever Pack. One of the things that makes a network want to sell ads against a live game is the mood. The sound of a building being full. The feeling that something real is happening. A 3,500-seat gym in the suburbs of Atlanta can't physically make that much noise, no matter how loud the crowd is.
They gave the league a lot of money. You know damn well they're going to want their fair share of Caitlin Clark. They gave the league a lot of money. You know damn well they're going to want a fair share of CC22. Oh yeah, we got to get that back. We got to recoup that from last year.
Advertiser rates for sports shows depend on how important people think what's on TV is. A college gym that is only half full sends a very clear message to media buyers, but an NBA arena that is completely full does not. That signal affects how hard networks bid for those games. Which is why the Dream came in at number 28, while the other 4 games were played in stadiums. That look and sound like real sports games on TV. There is no question about it.
Make no mistake about that. This is a business decision. We don't got time for all of y'all to be acting butthurt.
It's worth taking a moment to think about the connection between Dallas and Indiana. These cities don't have as big of TV markets as New York, Las Vegas, or Los Angeles. Clark and Boers, on the other hand, are stars that are known beyond their home market, and networks will pay for that. That's why Indiana has 44 games, the most of any team. These people are driven by star power that makes people outside of their home place care. And Rhea doesn't really move the needle like she thinks she does. A'ja Wilson won Most Valuable Player, and the Aces are the current champions. They are still 11 games behind Indiana. The Liberty put together a great team with 9 backs. So Clark is different from the rest of the league in more ways than just wins and good players. This is its own group, which is on top of everything else.
You don't get told no. Like, you're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come soon.
So the goal is to play 28 nationally televised games in a 3,500 seat gym in a market that isn't as big as New York or Vegas, on a team that hasn't really established itself yet. Also, the player who says he will bring in more viewers has been known as the most toxic player to ever enter a locker room for 2 full seasons. Rhea doesn't seem to see the point though. Over 2 full seasons, they had 23 wins and 61 losses, and they never made the playoffs. Rhea kept telling everyone that she was the most important player on that team. This is how the Chicago Sky's record looks with Angel Reese on the team.
Since they drafted Angel Reese, all of a sudden, the Bravado struggled to win games. And ESPN expects me to believe that the organization is the problem here? Either way, I don't think basketball had anything to do with why Angel Reese was traded. I think Angel Reese was traded because the Bravado thought that she was more trouble than she's worth.
In any case, I don't think Angel Reese was moved because of basketball. The Bravado may have moved Angel Reese because they thought she was too much trouble for them. It really did bounce back. To be fair, Reese grabbed boards at a rate that put her in the same league as all stars and made a strong data case for her worth. But there's a problem with how that number is blown out of proportion. When your team is still down 12 points in the 4th quarter, and you miss a lot of layups and then grab your own offensive rebound, it's like you're counting the same play twice. The board total looks good in the box score, but it doesn't really change how the game turns out. People thought that year 2 would be better. That's how player growth usually works. A young player learns the rules, gets along with his friends, and figures out how to win games that are close. The team got better, but Chicago got worse. The front desk watched that path for a long time and finally decided it wouldn't get better with the way things were set up, so they moved her. It was said to be what was going on in the change room. In the end, people who worked for the company confirmed that Reese's departure was a huge relief. One insider said that everyone was glad they didn't have to deal with her many scandals anymore and that teammates were sick of her. The same source said she was a locker room cancer, whose work was important for the group to stay alive. This is not a comment made anonymously on the internet. Those were the people who worked with her every day and decided the situation wasn't worth keeping safe any longer. Everyone saw the fight with Courtney Vanderloot in public during the 2025 season. But it didn't happen just once. Vanderloot tore her ACL, and while she was out, Reese told the public that the team couldn't depend on her because she was too old and that they needed to get younger players. Vanderloot, a 2-time WNBA champion, had to react to mean comments made about her in public while she was hurt. When someone with that much experience has to talk to the press to explain something that a younger friend said. Conversations between close friends inside that building had stopped for good. At her age, we can't count on Courtney to come back. She'd be helpful, but we can't count on her. We need someone a little younger with more experience, someone who knows how to play the game, is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. By the way, Courtney Vanderloot is a 2-time WNBA champion, 5-time All-Star and 2-time All-WNBA first-team player.
Can't rely on Courtney to come back at that age that she's at, Reese said. I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. Courtney Vandersloot, by the way, 2-time WNBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-WNBA first team, left the New York Liberty, a championship caliber team, to come help out the Chicago. Oh, damn. Oh, damn, oh, dang, oh, damn.
On top of that, a conduct suspension made things hard for the front office because you can't scold a player whose reputation you've built your marketing plan around without making things worse. And things got tougher. Things got interesting after the Sky switched her. Chi-Town has signed Skylar Diggins. Oswara Stevens walked in. Someone named John Carrington joined the team. He is one of the best perimeter defenders in the game. Rakia Jackson was moved there, and Jackson Reese's number 5 jersey was given to the Sky right away, without any ceremony, retirement talk, or mention of the time before. Sources said it was a clear sign that the Reese era was over, especially since Jackson wore number 5 in high school and college. After the deal, every player who joined Chicago was an all-star or all-defensive player, and they all signed within a few weeks of leaving.
You know, the dynasty starts after you not with you. Chicago Sky to Angel Reese. Woo-wee! I told you that AR disease ran deep. Nobody wanted to play with that. That is wild.
And that's crazy. In Chicago, it was said that no one wanted to play there before the deal. That story fell apart right away, showing pretty clearly what players across the league thought the real problem was. When Angel Reese walked into her Atlanta Dream press conference as a new partner, the players who were already there were asked what they thought about playing with her. What they said wasn't exactly a welcome party.
Question actually for everyone but Angel. How would you guys how would you guys describe what it was like playing against her the last 2 years?
I mean, anytime Angel's been on the other side of the court, I think I've had about 30.
Rhyne Howard went first. Howard's the Dream's best perimeter player, and when someone asked her about lining up alongside Reese, she smiled and said, anytime Angel's been on the other side of the court, she thought she had 30 points. Read that again slowly. Howard didn't say she was excited to play with Reese, or that having her on the same team changes the dynamic in a good way. She told you directly that guarding Reese was basically a free 30 every single time they matched up. That Reese's defense was so poor, Howard circled those games on the calendar and just went to work. Naz Hillman didn't bother softening it at all. Her exact words were, Angel's annoying as hell.
Angel's annoying as hell.
Rhyne Howard was the first to speak. Howard is the best outside player in the game. When asked about setting up with Ree, she smiled and said that she thought she had 30 points while Angel was on the other side of the court. Read it slowly again. Howard didn't talk about how excited she is to play with Ree or how having her on the team will make it better. You know what? She told you straight out that guarding Ree was like getting 30 free points every time they matched. That's why Howard marked those games on the calendar. Reese's defense was so bad. Naz Hillman didn't try to make it softer. For sure, she said, Angels are as annoying as hell.
I text Angel and I was like, I ain't gonna lie, last year, I love playing against Chicago because I had my best games.
A partner sitting at the same news conference table before they even play a game, talking about the person she's supposed to get along with. That's not something you say about someone you like having around. Alicia Gray took the same method as Howard, but she said it in a different way. She liked playing against Chicago because that's when she had her best games. Gray scored a lot of points against Reese's team for 2 years, and she always knew that Chicago would be a good night. Now she has to figure out how to play with the person who was giving her those results. There are some strange things going on in the locker room before even training camp starts.
So the Atlanta Dream teammates basically said, we were able to do anything we wanted at absolute will. We became Jedis on the court against the Chicago Sky. We just thought about cooking their ass. Shit started roasting on the court. We started cooking ribs and chicken right there on the court.
One important thing to note is that none of them were trick questions or set up to get bad answers. These were normal press conference questions about getting along with others on the team and what it's like to play together. And each of the 3 Dream players agreed that playing against Ree was more fun than playing with her. There were 3 different people and 3 different answers, but they all pointed in the same way. That's not a mistake. The Dreams dealt 2 first-round picks in the future to get Ree, so the people around her aren't pretending they don't have opinions. And those opinions are out in the open, no matter how well the chemistry works. So, our Atlanta Dream friends pretty much told us we could do whatever we pleased. When we played the Chicago Sky, we turned into Jedi on the court. We were just thinking about boiling their behind. Got very hot on the court. We grilled chicken, pork, and ribs right on the court. After that, there was this. When Ree heard that the Fever had 44 games that were shown on national TV, she reportedly got angry and said, "This is not fair." She didn't say, "I need to work harder or that motivates me." Instead, her first thought about the broadcast schedule was that it was unfair to her. Networks don't put games on the schedule to make people mad. They keep an eye on the scores and ad revenue and put cameras in places where people are already watching. And Ree saw the truth about the market as an attack on her character. When her Chicago peers talked about what made that locker room so tough, they kept talking about the same way of thinking, the kind of thinking that sees outside events as personal problems, instead of challenges to be met on the court. So picture what Atlanta looks like right now, before the first game of the season. People on her new team said she was annoying and told the media she couldn't defend them. In contrast to Indiana's 44 nationally broadcast games, this team's building can hold 3,500 people. One player's first thought when hearing Caitlin Clark's name on a record was to say it wasn't fair. The Indiana Fever, on the other hand, have a full squad, have locked up all 44 games, and Clark is healthy. Based on the broadcast schedule, the result is already 44-28. In the comments, please tell me if you think Reese is crazy. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on all alerts so you never miss anything. We'll see you next after you click the movie on the screen.